All right. Good morning, guys. How are y'all doing? Happy Friday. It's Wanda. I want to say good morning to everyone that comes across this content, and even my subscribers. And I want to say thank you all so much. Okay, today is Good Friday. Yes, we all know what that means. But I'm here to talk about a passion of mine, and that's gardening. Okay, so I'm doing this video by the seat of my pants. I did have some content written out, but you know what? I'm gonna just take this and just wherever I say, it goes. And if I watch back and I can take something and go from it, I will. So, um, I got started gardening probably back in like 2016, and I was gardening in 5 gallon buckets, and we did some in-ground gardening. We did greens, and we did tomatoes. No, greens and watermelon in the backyard of a residence we were staying at. We were renting at the time, so I was afraid. I'm not gonna admit it. I was afraid because I was new to gardening. I didn't know anything about gardening, but um, I started. And I'll be honest, I didn't know anything about YouTube. I did not as far as like what it really just stood for, but it is a search engine. So basically, for everything that I wanted to know, I either Googled it, or I was on Pinterest. And I got off into YouTube as far as like researching, and I guess from the things that I was researching, it started sending videos my way, and so somehow, I guess Homestead Heart, from what I can remember, I think that's where I kind of like got started, and from there it went to Miss Linda, which is T Nog out of New Orleans. Then it went to Lady Cheryl, and there are a lot of other people, Lead Farmer, and Lady Led, yes, but I didn't know where to start. So I started, like I said, in ground with the watermelon and the greens, and I did my tomatoes in buckets because I think at the time that's I'm like some 5 gallon buckets. I'm like, okay. I was working at a place. I was still working with my present employer, so I started getting 5 gallon buckets from the deli. I don't think they no longer give them out, but they were 5 gallon buckets, and so um what I did was I was so afraid because I just didn't know, and I had to teach myself some things. Um, as far as like drilling holes in a bucket, I'm not gonna lie. I have touched a drill before, but like what size bit do I'm serious? What size bit do I use and all like that? And then if you're gonna use like a what I want to say, a whiskey barrel, man, you need a 1 inch drill. So I was on the hunt for that, like googling it, what in the hardware department of my store. So basically, like I say, you can do in ground garden, you can do gardening in buckets, grow bags, pots, these galvanized steel beds that we now have. The old way was in ground, no raised beds, and so basically, you just basically tilling up the soil of the earth, the dirt of the earth, and you're throwing down your amendments and things like that. So, like I said, basically, I just got started with tomatoes. Look, didn't know nothing about no freaking soil, no nothing, no the quality of the soil, nothing, no amendments, no nothing. So basically, I think I went cheap. So basically, you're gonna have to know, like I said, do you want to grow in raised beds, in ground, grow bags, and things like that? It all depends on your living situation, budgeting. How much are you willing to how much are you wanting to spend on these materials? Do you have the time? Because yes, gardening, you need to you're gonna need to carve out some time for gardening, and patience. Everything in this garden, and everything in your garden, or everything that you want to grow, it takes patience to grow. It does. um And once you see that little seed that you planted start to emerge from one day to the next to a, like, it was like, wow. Then sometimes some seeds don't just I want to say grow. You don't see anything for maybe a week or two, or a week and a half, things like that. So you're gonna have to first decide how you want to grow, what you want to grow what you eat, and eat what you grow. That's what we're going by now. Grow what you eat. Let's say for me, um, it's onions and tomatoes and bell peppers and jalapeno peppers and watermelon, cantaloupe. I have some fruit trees back here. So basically, it's do you how much do you want to invest in it? You got your seeds to buy, you got your soil to buy, your amendments to buy, your pots to buy if you decide to do pots and these galvanized beds and grow bags and things like that. So you need to sit down and think about it seriously. It's not hard. I'm gonna be honest. I was terrified because I was truly a beginning gardener. I had plenty of space because I think we want 2 acres of land, but I wanted to stay just right there around the house because we were kind of like out in the country, and I'm like, man, I had never come up on a snake, and I didn't want to be too far out there, from the house and stuff like that. Something happens because, like in my own backyard, I think this is just a garden snake. Knock on wood, I haven't seen one yet. I know they're coming, but out there, I mean, they were different types of snakes, and so. But yeah, that's where we got to get started, y'all. If you Because the prices in the grocery store, they are going up. They are going up, and the quality of your produce, your fruits and your vegetables, they're not the same. I work for Walmart. Yes, I do. And there have been many times that I'm going to say this, that I have bought grapes. My husband like his grapes firm. I don't care if they are the red or the green grapes. He likes them firm. And there have been times that I bought grapes that they were sour. And we just got these grapes in. So I'm going to say this. I mean, something coming from your backyard, man, the smell of it is nothing like the grocery store. You will be so happy that you are able to just go out there and get what you need. You can grow herbs in your garden. If you live upstairs in an apartment, you do have to take into consideration the watering method, about water, let's say, dripping down on your neighbor, and they may be sitting outside on their patio or whatever, or even, yeah. And now if you're on the first level, that's fine, but don't be afraid to get started, to get started as far as starting a garden. You can grow hydroponically, meaning in water. I did invest in a hydroponics tank. Guess what? I bought it from Temu. So after a few months of having it, I watched it according to the directions and everything. And yes, I googled it and went on YouTube. So, but for some reason it leaks. So I have not been able to use it. I'm for real. I have not been able to use it now. I can put water in there and let it run for a day or two, but after about a week, it starts leaking. So that's no longer an option right now until I find out the source of the leak. But like I say, you need to take into account how you want to grow, what you want to grow, and do you have the time, the patience, the money for it. So, like I said, for me, I didn't know anything about gardening. So, my simplest thing was the tomatoes. My husband did the watermelons and the greens. So, I think I did tomatoes and bell peppers. So I started out in 5 gallon pots. So like I said, I didn't know nothing about soil. I just grabbed the cheapest thing that we sold, which was Expert Gardener, and here it is. 9 years later. 9 years later. Let me shift mine because sometimes he could be bark. I think it's a frog, a big bullfrog that he's barking at. Sorry. Um, I don't see anything long, but um, Okay, I got off track a little bit, but yeah, I was growing okay, tomatoes, bell peppers, and cucumbers in the pot. So, um, but I chose to sip the easiest soil, which was Expert Gardener. Um, Stop X, stop. I chose Expert Gardener. So like this being 9 years later, that's where it was. This being 9 years later, man, Expert Gardener. Like I said, I bought a bag, a two cubic foot bag, and we used it in my niece's garden. I sifted soil, and like I told y'all, half and half, half, half wood chips, debris, and the other half was sifted soil. So basically, it was $4.97. So I can't say that it was a total waste. Now, had I bought that other bag, which was 2 cubic feet for $9.97, I think what that was potting soil and one was gardening soil. I think if it had turned out like that and I paid $9 for it, I would have been really, really, really mad. So I didn't, and you also have you can get seeds started. Do you have the space for it indoors? If you do, have space for it, you can use the paper towel method, the snail roll method. If you want to get down with it, you can take a McDonald's cup, put some holes in there. You can take a plastic cup and cut some holes in there and put some soil in there. I wouldn't recommend dirt from your backyard like that, like we did as a child. But I would definitely suggest getting some seed starting mix, putting it in a cup, drop you some seeds as to what you want to grow and eat, and get started. It's not hard. It is so easy. So for me, like I say, now I'm using the paper towel method, the snail roll method. I got pots back here. I got grow bags back here. I even have a raised bed that I made out of cinder blocks that was already here on this property. So and then a location in your backyard or whatever, if you know the ideal of the sun. Does the sun, where you want to garden, you're going to need at least 6 to 8 hours of sunlight a day for your plants to be able to thrive and make it. And the tools you're going to need, you know what, Dollar Tree has come a long way. Or maybe before I got into gardening, I didn't pay no attention. But you can go to Dollar Tree. You can get started, y'all. So for cheap. Now, Dollar Tree used to sell Coco Core, or I think it was like Coco Core in a little pack. I have not seen it. I didn't see it last year, and I haven't seen it thus far. It may be they may sell it in another Dollar Tree in another town close by. But you can go to Dollar Tree and get what you need. I'm gonna say my hands getting tired. You can go to Dollar Tree and get what you need. As far as your pots, your seeds, your gardening tools. Yes, $1.25. Now, granted, Dollar Tree is not all $1.25. Some things are up to about $5, because that's how I got that self-watering container. When I saw it, and I saw it for 5, I grabbed it because it's almost equivalent to a 5-gallon bucket. So like I said, you can, let's say you just going to get your soil from Walmart. You can get your seeds from Dollar Tree. You can get your gardening tools from Dollar Tree. They do have a grow bag there. I experienced with it 1 year, and I didn't care for it, so I never bought them again. But you're gonna need gloves. You're gonna need a hand rake. You're gonna need a hand shovel. You're gonna need get you some goggles. Yes, I wear glasses, but sometimes I'll have on contacts, and um I wear my safety goggles because of debris, dealing with perlite or vermiculite, all that coming back on you and into your face and into your mouth and eyes. And you can even wear I'm gonna say a mask, because you're out when you're out here in the garden and stuff like that. You have all of that pollen in the air. the dust and the the dirt and all of what you're dealing with. If you're dealing with blood meal, bone meal, when you're putting it in your soil, all of that coming back on you. So yeah, you can wear a mask. That's fine, but you can trust me. Like I said, Dollar Tree's come a long way. What size pots do you want to use? You can separate, do your herb garden, do your herbs in different containers and things like that, so it just takes time, planning, patience, and and at this point, I'm going to say I love sharing what I know with other people. So hopefully it will develop a passion for you. This will become a passion for you to grow your own food. You're gonna end up learning terminology. Sometimes, especially with the starts and stuff from these the big box stores, you're gonna have to know the difference between determinate, indeterminate. You're gonna have to know seedling, what a pod is. I mean, you're gonna have to do your homework. Reading is very fundamental, and it's easy. And what you're gonna be learning through this whole gardening process, it is gonna be so much fun, y'all. It's. I was listening to someone last night. I don't know who, but when you are out in your garden, and let's say you spend 3 or 4 hours out here, and it's a good day, it's not a sunny day though, it's cool, and you just lost track of time, and you're tired, you know what, that's a good tired. That is a good tired. You did something that you wanted to do and everything, versus working a 9 to 5 and coming home tired. That's different. I think that the garden tired makes you more relaxed, just more relaxed. Your mind is off things. When you leave a 9 to 5 and you go home, yes, you're tired. You're sitting there wondering about this, and that didn't get done, and whatever you got to do tomorrow. But gardening, it's when you have the time to do it. It's at your leisure. I mean, you do need to map out what you need to get done each and every day when it comes to wanting to grow a garden. Don't get me wrong, yeah, but don't stress out about it. It is so easy. And composting, I compost in I have a composter, and I also save my what you call my kitchen scraps, my banana peels, my coffee, the eggshells, bell peppers, whatever you don't use from the bell pepper or the celery and things like that. Um, mm, Produce that may have gone bad in the refrigerator that you didn't get around to using and things like that. And I'm guilty of it too. Just like last week, I bought some blueberries and some raspberries. How about the next day, or within 2 days of me buying those dried raspberries, I had mold on it, so they went into the compost. I dug out what was good that I didn't see, and the rest of it went into the compost bin. Yes, so you can start gardening on the cheap. You can start composting on the cheap. I did a video on composting. Composting. I'm gonna tell y'all, my compost tumbler that I have now, I was not willing and wanting to spend that amount of money for it. And I visited my friend girl. She and her husband composted everything in their house that could be composted. I do mean everything. And so it took me a year because I saw their dedication to composting. So it took me over a year to decide, do I really want to compost? I don't even know where to begin. I didn't. I did not know where to begin. Again, reading and doing your research and your homework on it. But DIY. Take a 17-gallon tote, drill some holes in it, fill it up with some soil. Like I said, do eggshell, do your kitchen scraps, your fruits and vegetables, potato skins, sweet potato skins, no meat, no dairy. Put that in there. And what I do sometimes, what I did do to get it started off, I bought a thing of don't buy no night crawlers. I bought a small thing of red worms to get my gardening started, and from there I have no problem. I mean, my worm, because I did not trust the process at first. I didn't. So when I first started composting, but I mean, it took me a year to make up my mind to decide to start composting, and I started composting on the cheap. Like I say, the 17-gallon tote, drill holes through. I threw soil in there, leaves in there, kitchen scraps, bought the worms, and you're going to need your bungee cords. Yes. So it was very, very, very cheap. I bought, so I think I did maybe one or two totes. Starting out, and I saw how good it was going. And I think within 3 or 4 months, my compost was like soil, y'all. I couldn't believe it. And you run your hand through there, and you bringing up these worms. It was glorious. I'm gonna be for real. It was glorious. But like I say, you can get to gardening on the cheap. Just make up your mind to just get started, and I highly encourage you to get started. Don't wait. Don't wait for no one. Just start. Now, granted, some things will need the assistance of someone else to maybe build for you, like a small table bed or whatever, you know. But yeah. And when it comes to the trellis, guess what? Dollar Tree sells small trellises. You can do DIY. Go to the arts and crafts section of Walmart. You can get you some poles, get you some yarn. You don't necessarily need no twine. Get you some yarn. You can make your own trellis. We have Google, Pinterest, YouTube out there to where we can just find out how to do stuff for on the cheap DIY projects. So, like I say, anytime that you this is if you are serious. So for real, now I'm learning um over the past few years, and things like that. Green onions. When you buy it in that little bunch, take it, stick it in the soil. Cut off what you don't use, stick that in the soil. There you have green onions started. Celery. Leave about 2 inches on that celery. Cut off what you're gonna use. Leave. Let's say leave the bottom about 2 or 3 inches long. Stick it in some soil. Guess what? I do have celery growing, bok choy, and all of those things like that. Anything that you may see a root, I'm dead serious. Cut off what you're gonna use and stick it in some soil. You're gonna have free produce growing in your backyard, and it is so nice to just come out here and smell everything, because you don't smell what you smell in your backyard as far as produce in the grocery store. You don't. And to be able to come out here and literally, yes, just snack. As I'm picking, let's say, greens and okra and things like that, I'm snacking. And when I go in and it's, let's say, lunchtime or dinner time, I may not be hungry right away because I've been out here snacking what I'm supposed to be picking. But y'all, I do highly encourage you all to get started gardening. It's not hard. It's very easy. You just need time, patience, create a budget of what you want to grow, where you want to grow, how you want to grow. So I highly encourage you to get started growing. Like I say, you can go to Dollar Tree. You can do buckets, pots. The buckets at Walmart, the 5-gallon buckets, they're $3, and I'm thinking 20 something cent or 3.84. You don't have to get the lid. No, you don't have to get the lid. Just get the bucket, and we're gonna drill holes in it. That's what I basically been doing all week. I've been helping my niece get her garden together. And on yesterday, um, my husband had someone to come and till up a spot for her. When I went and looked at it yesterday, I'm going to tell you, man, he's done. He's almost done. He created her rose for her. Um, it's longer than 6 feet, y'all. She was very ecstatic, even though we got her started in some pots, and we dropped seeds on Monday in those the new trays that you get from the nursery or your big box store and things like that. We dropped some seeds, started mixing that, and got her started with some seeds, and you know what she did. And I was happy. I just laughed. She took a cup she had and she cut some holes in the bottom, put some soil in there, and I think she dropped her some bell pepper seeds on her own without me telling. So it takes initiative and a little bit of creativity to be in gardening. It does. I'm not telling no tale. Max, stop. So sorry about that, y'all. But like I say, I do encourage you all to get started. Um, Look, reach out to me if you have any questions. I will be more than happy to come back with an answer. If I don't know, trust me, I'll find out for you. But it is so easy, y'all, to get started gardening. It's like you start off with one thing in gardening. Let's say you just want to grow your let's just say bell peppers and tomatoes and cucumbers. That's three things right there. You need a small bag of soil. You need 3 pots. Um, let's just say you want that that McDonald's cup that you use for coffee, that you buy coffee, you can use that. The Taco Bell cups, the clear cups, or solo cups, any type of solo cups, any cups that's plastic. Poke some holes in there, drop some soil, drop some seeds. You know, go. You paying $1.25 for a pack of seeds. No, you're not gonna get that many in there. Let's say you have a bell pepper in the refrigerator. Guess what? You can take those seeds and drop that in some soil. Yes, like I say, and lighting. If you're gonna do indoor growing, that's another. If you're gonna do indoor growing, you're gonna need some grow lights. Yes, and like I say, you still can be cheap with it. You can go Temu, Etsy, Amazon. Just take your time and look around for the grow lights. Most of mine are clip-on grow lights. Yes, and I have a gooseneck lamp that I found at Walmart. I think last year for $5. Even though it doesn't throw out the heat that I need, it germinated my husband's watermelon seedlings plants for him, or his seeds that he had planted, and they're doing just fine. And okay, the snail roll method. I tried it, and I actually liked the way they came up. Hold on. Like I say, um, styrofoam packaging comes almost in everything we order, just about. So like that, you can take that, cut it up, or you may want to leave it the size that it is, and all you want to do is sterilize that soil, put some hot water on it. Sorry about that. Just my hands getting tired. And you can do it that way, and just stick it in a box, and spray it. Mist the top of it. The soil is already damp. Drop your seeds in there and label it. And within a week or so, and if you're gonna do it indoors, put a light with some put a good light on there. Put a good little light source on there. You know. Yeah, so I do highly encourage you to get going. Like I say, reach out to me if you have any questions. Just leave a comment, leave it in my comment section, and I'll get back with you. Look, it's been a glorious morning thus far. I'm at 28 minutes. Like I said, I just took this video by the seat of my pants, because it was planned, but and I had it written out. But I'm just going with what I know thus far. Like I say, reach out to me if you have any comments. It's easy. So, alrighty, y'all. Look, love y'all. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'll be catching you later, okay? And remember to pay. Look, it's Good Friday. Smile. Pay somebody a compliment. Take your time today, because it's the kids are out of school. Lord, they were in the stores yesterday. And just remember, just take your time today out there. No rushing, no accidents, okay? Because I want to see you tomorrow, and I definitely want to see you on Monday. So look, y'all, be blessed and happy Easter, okay? All right.